Hello, coffee people. My name is Irina Sharipova, and I'm the host of the podcast Coffee Business in the Middle East. And I just finished the conversation with Camilo Cortes from Blacksmith Roastery. We spoke about the challenges and positive sides of managing the roastery here, the differences between the Emirates, different consumers from UAE to the rest of the world. So enjoy the conversation. Hello, Camilo. Welcome to the podcast Coffee Business in the Middle East.
Thank you, Irina, for the invite.
I'm so excited to talk to you because you're very well known here in the Middle East, especially in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi. You've been operating the Blacksmith Roastery for 8 years. Could you please tell us a little bit about the business side of the operating the roastery? I know it's about the expansion, it's about the quality, but what are the misconceptions right now that people are facing managing the roasting business?
Well, I think so. It's a transformation from being a small roaster into a medium size, I would say humbly that we are. We went through an interesting process where, as of now, it leads that our biggest struggles, and I think so, around is to have talented people working with us. Because as the business grow, the skill also need to grow, and some people in the team adapt to it, but some we require certain skills to bring new talents, and it's quite complicated sometimes to bring those. So I think so that's one of the biggest. From the dynamics of the business as well, when you enter into a larger accounts, managing the contracts and control over the price, assumptions on the future, which is impossible, is a bit of a gambling. It always comes with a risk with risk and luck that you face. Obviously, you try to write down everything in the contract, but as a mid-sized roster, you always end up with some kind of beginner position, right? But it's quite interesting, to be honest.
So as you are growing, you definitely made some mistakes.
A lot.
What was the most expensive one?
No, you don't count that your business gonna grow so much in a year. So sourcing, for example, you run out of the right beans, and then you need to explore opportunities. The good thing is also there's a community that is willing to support you, and this is how you have to handle your business. Always keep yourself around the community, the competitors, if you can call it that way, because they are the ones who can give you the hand if something goes off. So that was one of the biggest issues that we have. We have some growing 1 year for 50% more than what we thought. And now we have control over that. But also comes with some constraints from cash flow, right? Because obviously, yeah, the business is growing, but cash flow is also very important, especially in green, and especially under the conditions that farmers are putting us right now, because they are not willing to be that flexible like in the past. So those are things that are complicated to handle.
So yeah, I agree with that. That roasting business is not about just roast and sell. It's about the investing money and like long-term projection and forecasting, right?
Exactly.
And speaking of the positive sides of the operating the roastery, what drives you the most? And I mean, like specifically Blacksmith from the others.
Well, I think so. The learning from these large accounts that we get, all the exposure that we get, and how to approach corporate is quite interesting. The people you deal with really give you some sort of lessons and understanding what the mass customer needs, because they are dealing with the mass, right? The majority of the customer in the industry. So it's quite interesting the statistics that shows the preference, how flavor preference has been changed through the 5 years, where with certain customers they wanted to move from commercial to specialty, but there was a transition through flavor where we don't want to make people perceive that the specialty is so sour, how they call it.
Yeah.
But we just make the proper transition, having two options, and then the numbers shows that people now slowly is moving into the medium side, which is kind of positive, right? Yeah, and the trends, understanding by fact with numbers, data. So it's not anymore leaving it to guessing. It's also related to analysis of the data, what customers are having, and it's very meaningful for the company to get that. Yeah.
So speaking of the analysis, like, do you do like marketing research? Do you do like quarterly research, like what's happening in the industry? Like, how do you maintain this
Talking to
knowledge?
customers. I think so. That is major thing for us, and talking to our competitors, let's say. So our way is very simple. We don't go through companies to get those. We read. We understand more or less what big companies publish, and but most important is with this data, we compare it with ourselves, with our model, and then we just confirm with others if they are facing similarities on that. And this is the way how we can take decisions on what to offer or how to market. Marketing has changed a lot. We don't see more often people posting all the time, accounts very active, and it's changing, and it's not even to make fun and marketing. It's moving towards very rarely post something meaningful, and that's all, because I feel like people is getting tired of scrolling, and it's more looking like a more entertaining than the shopping itself, the effect. So quite interesting, to be honest.
Well, you recently opened a branch in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is yes. We 3 months ago.
Yeah.
We opened. This branch is part of the heart of Blacksmith, because it's in the area where we started to operate our roastery. It's a very small, humble size roastery, and with the progress of the city, they told us that we have to restructure it. So we opened a coffee shop. It's quite Japanese style, 2x2, and we focus on quality beans, a sort of omakase experience. We bring on a mixologist to help us to create drinks that add value from the texture, meaning the sensory perspective, which is key. And we wanted to do some fun there, something unique. We have some nice pairings in there. And the coffees that we focus are frozen. So we keep it frozen. We pack it in a single shot to keep consistency. And based on our experimentals, adds a lot of value in sweetness, and most importantly in the extraction, how the coffee is extracted. And we see it also as a sustainable way to promote, because some coffee shops might not sell faster their expensive coffee, and that just end up with losses. So when you use frozen, you can keep it longer period of time, so you can serve your coffee, expensive coffee, to your customers.
Do you see this project as an image for you, or it's like it can be profitable? This omakase, this frozen beans.
It is profitable. It is profitable because I think so. It plays well from the strategy, because selling good coffee allows people to understand what is a good coffee, and that comes with education. And the part of omakase is mostly educational. It's an interaction, right? It's an experience. So we see that when we are able to express what is all about this coffee, people can understand what is a good coffee, and then they're gonna look around for good coffee. So we found out that it's gonna be positive for the company itself. Busy coffee shops, we are not too busy, but busy coffee shops don't have enough time to talk because there is a queue, right?
Yeah.
But this is like a small school for people to learn to appreciate coffee in a nice environment, no rush, easygoing, and yeah, it helps a lot. It is profitable. People demand good coffee,
Yeah.
especially in this country.
About the demand in the UAE specifically, so you have branches in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So is there any portrait of the consumer here?
The difference between them.
Yeah, I mean specifically in UAE, like something differs UAE consumer, because I believe you travel all over the world. Like specifically, you target and differs UAE consumer from the rest of the world.
Yes, it's quite interesting. I think so. It's also divided by Emirates. The customer in Dubai, especially the local community, we appreciate the most. They are very well known. They demand quality. In Abu Dhabi nowadays, of course, right? It's been like a trend through the Emirates, where Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah started a little bit later.
Okay.
But the portrait is like, I think so. Is a normal journey in the specialty, where all these funky coffees were trendy, and then suddenly started to be less funky, because people like to try something new.
Yeah.
And especially in Dubai, because it's a fast-paced country, people get bored of the same, because there is always new, something innovative. So it's a very it's a very challenging market because you all the time need to be extremely active at the country, at the city it is. So I would say that the portraits here is very open to try something new, and they are willing to do it. Different
Yeah.
than other countries where you spend more time to convince somehow your customers,
True.
to educate them through. Now here people is very open-minded when it comes to flavors and coffee and experiences.
Have you ever faced any difficulties regarding the educating your customer, or you already ready for that? Are they open-minded? Okay, I will give for them something funky, unusual, or
Yes. Yes, and I think so. Yeah, very much. So the perception of certain processings that are not well labeled, right? People talk about infused, co-fermented, has been presented to customers in the wholesale as a high quality coffee, right? And there is nothing wrong with it, but you have to explain your customers that this coffee tastes this way because has been go through a process of co-fermentation or infused. So when we come with a clean coffee, a geisha, customers tend to reject it because they thought that this infused coffee is how an amazing and expensive coffee should taste. So those are one of the challenges we face. Interesting.
okay. And what is your current situation with the roastery? Like, are you still consider growing, like constant growth, or you're thinking about globally maybe to be globally recognized brand?
So we started a year ago to prepare ourselves from franchise in the retail side. There is a bunch of opportunities here. I think so. You can see very often they open coffee shops, but at the same time they close a lot of coffee shops. And a lot of people open coffee shops without knowing all the details that you need to know. Some of them knows coffee, but they don't know business. Some of them know business, but they don't know coffee, and it comes together. So we seen a strong opportunity for us, not only in the UAE, but in the region, and we are preparing ourselves for that. From the wholesale perspective, we were forced to expand. When we moved to Dubai Roastery, we already small. we're kind of struggling in the production. So now we are having in 2026 the plan to have a proper expansion for the roastery and to align with the corporate side, no? To align with all the requirements that has the corporate and the needs of hygienics, food control, and everything that we have in a small size, but we have to be big.
Yeah, I
Yes.
see. So, but have you ever thought about being like globally? I mean, like to go to another countries?
Every day, no? I
Yeah?
wake up and I want to be global. I want to be global.
Because UAE is demanding this, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. UAE is an extremely good platform, but this is how you need to take the advantage. Going abroad and say, we were born in Abu Dhabi, we were born in the UAE, and that is a big statement abroad. So yes, we are, when we open, I think so every coffee shop open with the idea to go global, right? And we are not different than that, but it takes time to feel comfortable, to jump in.
Yeah.
And I think so in the next couple of years, we'll be able to start those steps. We already have some people already in the pipeline to help us to strengthen our strategy and to be successful. Because this is the key. No, it's not only going out, it's to
Yeah.
be successful outside.
True, because sometimes I hear this thought that I'm opening a brand and I want to be like a brand, the chain, and then I want to be like international brand within 1 year. Like it's
Yeah.
unrealistic at all because I believe, and you just tell me your opinion. It's about the trust, the building the trust. Yeah. So and you need to be very patient. Yeah. So you see, you're operating a roastery, a brand. 8 years, and it takes more and more. You don't think like, I will be like very famous in 1 year. Yeah, it takes time, right?
It takes quite some
and
time.
trust.
I think so also you need to feel comfortable with what you are offering. You don't go out there to offer air, because at the same time it's gonna backfire in the future to you.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of data and a lot of results that shows that it's a reliable brand where we can build something for the future and we can expand. And I see what you say, like we want to have 100 and they literally start to rent and rent and rent and
Yes,
rent. At some
yes.
point they start to get back the retails and shorten the size, which is not ideal. Yeah, I think this is more organic growth, has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love your smoothness and like how steady you are, like step by step, like properly counting everything. Because roasting and coffee shops, it's not very easy. Yeah, some people think it's the hospitality, horeca. It's not very easy to manage. And speaking of the managing a roastery specifically in UAE, like, do you see it's a bubble already which is going to be burst soon, or you see the capacity for new brands available?
I think so. My opinion doesn't matter, but no, I'm just thinking that there are some mature business, right? And those mature business are mature because they have gone through a process where they allow them to continue growth, right? But I feel like a space for new roasters, if they think about UAE, there is no much space for that, and we're gonna fight for coins, right? And we are not interested anymore on that way. So I think so is the first step you do when you are small. You go to coffee shops and start to have this, and then the other roastery come, and all the roasteries are having the same customers. So your a small volume, because in this country it's a small volume, a small population, your 30, 50, 100 kgs is transformed into 20 kgs, and then the exposure of credits, right? So people by the way, when companies open, they don't think about credit terms and the exposure that way brings. I
Yeah.
hear some companies struggle for that fact. Their strategy was to compete with price, but they didn't count on the value that giving credit or the pain that giving credit would bring when you are so tight in margins. When you compete with price, you are extremely tight with margins. So operationally as well, they are small, the operations is expensive. So they need to roast more, they need to hire more people, and it's more expensive. They don't count on that fact. So it's interesting, and people should not compete with price. They should compete with added value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I compare what they have and what they're gonna offer, but they just think maybe it's just buying a roasting machine, uh, take the roaster from another roastery, and that's it. And my friend's gonna buy my coffee.
Yeah. What do you think about the private label situation? Because, for example, in Europe, it's not very common. But here in the Middle East, it's very common to buy from a roastery, put your sticker, and tell this is our coffee. What is your opinion on that? Do you do
Yeah.
private label?
We do majority, to be honest. In the beginning, people wanted to be associated with the roster. It was giving the feeling that of quality. But nowadays, they want to have their own thing. They want people to think that it's their own roster even. So private label is very common. And also because they want to sell the coffee in the retail, so it makes more sense for them to have the brand because it's a marketing way
Yeah.
than to have the roster brand, no? If you're gonna sell on retail, the roster might be your competitor, how they might see it. But now it's very common. Majority of our customers are
Private label.
Private label.
My concern was only about that people put a label and they say, yes, we roast our coffee. Because, for example, in my country, it is obligatory to write who roasted this coffee. You can have your brand, of course. You can have beautiful packages.
Yeah.
Of course, because you have your own branding, because maybe my brand is not matching your brand. It's totally fine.
Yes.
But my concern is about hidden information. Like,
Of course.
no, this is our coffee.
Yeah.
No one has it. Come on, we have not 100 roasteries here in the UAE.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it right or
It's,
wrong?
the traceability, I would say, no. So it's problematic for the coffee shop not to have it because if something happened, they are responsible for it
Yeah.
because they don't have it in the label that is the roastery. But it's I think so as you grow and you get mature, you understand you have to adapt your protocols into that. So you tell your customers straightforward, and they have to accept it because it's good to do it. It's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's from the health perspective. It's something going on with the coffee.
Exactly.
You know where to complain, where to find the root of the cause,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So I think so. Yeah, I can see that often, and some stickers that doesn't have information even, like it's a
Yeah.
paper.
Coffee.
Coffee. Coffee buy now.
Yeah. For me, it's weird because we live in the UAE where everything should be like strictly regulated, but the coffee, it's not like a souvenir. It's a goods like what you consume.
It's food that you consume.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think so. Regulation now is changing a lot. It's more strict. Dubai always is leading these changes, and soon it's going to be moved to other Emirates. But it's very strict, and municipality, food watch, they are checking often those kind of practices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that because for me it's really weird because first of all, as an expert side, and I think some professionals will agree with me, when I go to the coffee shop, I want to know which roastery they roast,
Yeah.
they use.
Yeah.
And it's not about I hate someone or I love someone. No, I want to know the diversity of the flavors. Maybe I want to buy coffee next time from this specific roastery. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't really understand that. No. We hide this. It's a secret.
Yeah.
It's a secret. Why? Why?
Because I think
What's
so.
the-
That is how they think is the added value of their business. That secrecy.
But milk,
But-
you can see the label. No one hides
You
the
don't have
milk.
options not to. When you want to hide
But
it, you
coffee
cannot
is a
say.
secret. It shouldn't be the secret, right?
Yeah. It's a bit competitive mentality when it comes to that. So I feel like I have a beautiful design, interior design. I buy an expensive machine, and I show that I have my own coffee, selling my own coffee. And sometimes it's not ideal. When you are small, maybe it's acceptable until you learn. But once you grow and you
Yeah.
start to scale, you understand that you have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's happening. To us, it's happening.
Yeah, I see some chains. They started to write that roasted by some roastery
yes.
and etc. But still, because I do consulting here, they say, "Oh, we're gonna open a coffee shop, but yes, we're gonna work with a roastery, but we need our label, like
Yeah.
it's our coffee." What is this possessiveness about? I don't understand really.
I think so. They don't have a project. You have a product.
Yeah.
You add value to that. It's good to have the relation with the roaster, and if you want to go deeper, you can have the relation with the farmer through the roaster, and
Yeah.
that make it really sustainable. Yeah, and I think so that practices are good for businesses, and this is what we roasters need to promote. Yeah, to explain them the reason why it's good for you to have us. Right? We don't think about we have blends. In the past, it's a crime, no? Specialty coffee having blends. Come on, we can create a very beautiful blends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And blends are consistent.
Yeah.
So customers create their own blend. And we are not allowed to sell their blend in our website. We created for them. It's yours. Yeah, sell. We are happy for that. And it's yours, and literally it's working. Yeah, it's a good way to bring them to build a relation with the roasters.
Yeah, I see. Speaking of sustainability, you just mentioned, what is sustainability for your company means?
The relation with farmers, understanding the pains. We have done some projects with our farmers in Guatemala. The farmer is someone who is very into that topic. They really are into sustainability, supporting women. In Guatemala, with the proximity with US, the man has left the farms and go to US to have better incomes, and the woman stays in the farm, and they are taking care of the farm.
Okay.
So they were forced to learn how to take care of a farm, and woman seems to be very good at farming. Their coffee is very tasty for some reason, which is, I think so, attention to details. They like what they do, and this farmer is helping this community of women to empower them and to give them customers like us to sell their coffees, and it's motivational for them. In our roastery, it's about packaging materials, and we are looking for ways to avoid using so many coffee bags. So every time you have 20.1, 20.3 batch size, the 0.3 goes to a open bag, right? So this bag then is going to the trash, but you don't know if it's going to be recycled or not. So we try to use certain materials and containers to store it without sacrificing the quality of the coffee. And this reduction of the usage of those bags as well is helping. Recyclable bags when it's possible, because it still is questionable the durability of the quality of the coffee in certain bags, but we try our best to have it as much as possible. And this country also helps a lot, because in some countries it's not about recycling, it's that the country has the capability to recycle that kind of products. This country has capability to recycle many materials, so it's positive for us. Yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Wow, well done, well
Yeah.
done. And speaking of innovations, I really like your design. I like your visual brand, and I know that you are into this innovation, like omakase experience you just mentioned, and frozen coffee. What else are you doing in the roastery?
It's not related to coffee, but we recently started. We hired an AI engineer.
Okay, it's a
So,
person.
so I want
But
someone
he's
to do my job. It's a person.
it's
No,
a
it's not
person.
an AI agent. No, it's someone who gonna help us to build a system with what we have in our softwares. Our roasting system already is allow us to do an integration with our accounting system. So
Okay.
when you are small or medium size, going through certain systems is quite expensive, like a SAP, right? Where you have all together, or ERPs. So what happened is that we have our accounting system, but we were not able to connect it to our production system, and we were not able to connect it to our distribution system, and we were not able to connect it to our technical app. So now with this AI engineer, what we aim is to connect us all through a database first, and then from this database, we're gonna find all the connectivity through our system. So we will avoid human error, we will avoid customer dissatisfaction, which was one of the
Okay.
pilots to reach that level of thinking. How can we automate? How can we automate? I don't want to remove people. I want to remove the mistakes, right? The exposure for mistakes, the forgetting because we are humans. So automations is just a way to say to the human, hey, you forgot this, hey, you forgot this, hey, you forgot this. And it helped us to establish the MSLs, right?
What is that?
The minimum stock level.
Ah.
Yeah. So we are working on seasonalities. We are working on even per week we see peaks in first and second week of the month. Third and fourth week is lesser. So we have to plan properly our stocks, and this stock planning is going through Excel with the help of our production system, but it's not fully reliable. So our AI engineer is working on connecting those things. And the rest is just marketing strategies related to having the CEO in-house. We have in the past someone like someone outside, a freelancer. Right now we have a team who is working on the marketing, and it's quite impressive people,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn
Yeah.
how this digital world works.
Exactly. That's fascinating. Yeah. So that's good words that you don't want to replace people. You want to avoid mistakes.
Yep.
That's fascinating for me as well. And speaking of AI technology, do you implement it also for the customer service, like automating replies or something?
Yeah, not yet, because it's tricky. When you don't know, you better don't do it. You hire someone who knows how to do it. To launch something that is not working and brings just more dissatisfaction. All these booths, how it's called, are unknown to me and require some time. But what we do is we control our distribution through an application, and our cars, we know where they are, how long time they spend doing the delivery, how many deliveries they can do. And because we have a very large account, we have to go through the whole country doing deliveries and on a schedule, and it has to be very tight. We can control how many boxes we can put in a car, the volumes. So yeah, it's existing already, right? But for medium-sized roasters, it's a challenge. You have to do it, right? When you don't have, if you don't have enough budget as well, you have to try to find ways to do it, and during this process you learn a lot. It's very valuable than to hire someone, they do it, and then you didn't know how to do it. We are learning.
You're learning, and you need to teach this AI, as I know that you're teaching it.
We connect him with every single department. How can we do AI recruitment? For example, in the HR, it demands a lot of time.
Yeah.
Recruiting is very complicated. As I say in the beginning,
Yeah.
one of the challenge. So he is able to help us to set up an AI recruitment process and to build it with our application by SAT, where it's gonna be all the results there. So it's very impressive.
Wow, it impressed me a lot already. Yeah, I need to learn more about AI technology as well, how to manage it and how to learn it, how to learn it and teach it. Yeah, because he will teach me also. Well, speaking of the roasting business in the UAE, yes, we spoke about some positive side, some challenges. But what do you think stops you to not generate more money, but to be bigger, to be well known? Is there a lot of obstacles here in the UAE?
It's expensive, but I think so. The country was set up for something more like a tourism, and nowadays it seems like they are promoting more to have industries to do it make it in the Emirates, right? So it takes time for them to build warehouses or areas where you can have a larger warehouses. We are struggling to find the right warehouse, and I think this is a struggle for many, looking for the location to continue the growth of the business. We are currently on that, and it's very complicated. So if there were more areas where companies like us can put their large warehouse, can grow more organic without spending an immense amount of money, it could be positive for the country because that makes us more competitive. In the other hand, it's also building the team. So it's just you try some people who has a extremely good CV, but execution sometimes is not aligned. Maybe they don't align with the company as
Yeah.
well. But it make it take longer, right? Because business like us, we don't know everything. So we have to hire talents, and sometimes the talent is based on a CV experience interview, but in execution we struggle. But now I think we are in the right path. We never have a strong sales approach, right? It's just we just wanted to serve properly our customers, and that speaks about. But in the last year, we have a person in charge. Now we are having someone from a different type of sales perspective, more like a Horeca experience, and someone who can add value from these kind of big brands. Yep.
Yeah, that's fascinating for me. Yeah, your words like sound so smooth. You're just doing what you know and enjoying the process.
I do. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice and inspiring.
Come with age. Come with age. To be honest, the effect of certain situations when you are younger, how you take it is differently. And
I
I
see.
enjoy my job a lot. And I enjoy
Nice.
to see the numbers, how they move, and the positive feedback that we get from customers inspire you to continue doing well. And it makes you motivated. And I think so also, for me, it's important I get the support of the owners of the business. Because whatever I want to have, I have in my mind, they say, yeah, they give you the courage to do it. And they are nice people. So I just always do it out of curiosity and energy. I have all my energy for it, and it works.
Wow.
So I think so that is a good engine for your life.
That's wonderful.
Just-
But what also inspires you to to be sure that you're doing right business? Maybe there are some examples of the roasteries, or maybe from another field that keeps moving you forward.
Well, we have a very competitive roasteries nowadays,
Yeah.
and they are doing great job. And I think so they are doing the job that we can take advantage of because they are building an image as well as the country, not only for themselves, but whatever they do there, people look at the country. Oh, they are competitive means there are other competitors that might be strong. So they push those boundaries, I would say. We, in some point, we took a different direction on the business of a specialty, and we wanted to explore a specialty, but in a larger size, and that took us some time to nail it. And I think so after 5 years of being there, we literally are good at it. We are currently, we supply 350 petrol stations. That is very big, and it was very challenging. We started with 10, and then we grow and grow and grow, and now we have 350 plus.
Wow.
And we are supplying currently 11 hotels, and hotels is a new story. If we thought that we know about petrol stations, hotels is a different format, different dealings, different understanding, and it's very exciting. So what is next is to continue the path of, because the business itself is showing you the path where you go. I'm like, okay, that's nice. We take every challenge, we take it positively and say, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
quite interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy for you, honestly,
Thank you.
and you do such positive impact to the coffee industry.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to visit your new branch.
Please.
Yeah. And thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much for you to invite. Beautiful questions. I expect something different, but it's nice.
Thank you. Thank you so
easy
much.
ones.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Lina.
the expo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.